There are moments in your life when you wonder why nobody sees you, why the spotlight never hits your name, why doors that seem open for others slam shut for you. You pray, you work, you believe, yet it feels like you're tucked away in the shadows. But hear this truth, you are not being ignored, you are being hidden. God has strategically concealed you because what you carry is too powerful, too sacred, too holy to be exposed before it's time. You see, when God places a holy fire inside you, it cannot be mishandled. It cannot be wasted on small battles or burned out by careless hands. That fire must be protected, refined, and prepared. God hides you in seasons of obscurity, not to punish you, but to preserve you. He's shaping your character so your calling doesn't crush you. He's letting your roots grow deep in secret so when the wind comes, you will not fall. Hidden means chosen. Hidden means called. Hidden means under construction by divine hands. God hid Moses in a basket before he led a nation. God hid David in the fields before he conquered Goliath. God hid Joseph in a prison before he ruled in a palace. And right now, God may be hiding you. Not because he's done with you, but because he's just getting started. When you carry holy fire, you can't move like everyone else. You can't compromise like others do. You can't settle for ordinary because there's something extraordinary burning inside you. And that's why your path feels narrow. That's why isolation comes. That's why people walk away. They can't handle the heat that's on you. Don't curse the cave that's protecting your calling. The cave is not your coffin, it's your classroom. It's where you learn to hear God's whisper in the dark. It's where the holy fire inside you grows stronger, hotter, purer. It's where you learn that favor without formation leads to failure. God is forming you for the fight, preparing you for the platform, strengthening you for the storm. So don't despise your hidden season. Don't rush it. Don't fight it. Let God finish what he started. Because when he reveals you, when he brings you out, no one will be able to deny that it was God who kept you, God who raised you, and God who lit the fire inside you. You carry something heaven sent. That's why hell's been after you. That's why the pressure's been heavy. That's why the waiting feels long. Because what you carry can break chains, shift atmospheres, and awaken hearts. The enemy doesn't attack empty vessels. He attacks those filled with divine purpose. So hold your head high in this hidden season. Guard your fire. Feed it with prayer, with the word, with worship. Don't let bitterness or impatience extinguish what God is doing. Stay faithful in the unseen, because the unseen is where God makes kings, prophets, and warriors. Now it's your turn. It's time to stop questioning your worth and start preparing for your reveal. It's time to rise up in private so you can stand strong in public. It's time to protect your holy fire because the world needs its light. So when you walk out of the shadows, walk out with fire in your eyes and purpose in your step. The hiding was never rejection. It was preparation. God hid you because you carry a holy fire. And when he unveils you, the world will feel its heat. When life feels quiet, when opportunities seem to pass you by, and when your name isn't being called, it's easy to believe that you've been forgotten. But what if the silence isn't punishment? What if it's divine strategy? What if God hasn't abandoned you at all, but has hidden you on purpose? There is a difference between being overlooked and being hidden. One is man's decision. The other is God's design. God hides those he is preparing for something greater than the moment they're in. He covers you not because you're unworthy, but because what you carry is sacred. You're not being set aside. You're being set apart. You're not forgotten. You're being forged in the fire of preparation. There are times when God's silence is his loudest protection. He's shielding you from the noise, from the distractions, from the people who would mishandle your purpose if they got access too early. You're not being ignored. You're being insulated. Every season of hiddenness has divine intention behind it. God is developing your strength where no one can see it. He's building your faith in the quiet places so when the storm comes, you don't crumble. The hidden season may not look glamorous, but it is sacred ground where God himself becomes your foundation. Think about it. Before a tree touches the sky, its roots must first fight through the dirt. No one applauds the roots. No one photographs the process. But without those unseen roots, there would be no fruit. That's exactly what your hidden season is doing. It's forming roots that go deep enough to sustain you when the world finally sees what God placed inside you. Every prayer whispered in the dark, every tear cried in silence, every time you kept going when no one noticed. It's all part of your divine development. God sees you. Heaven hasn't lost your file. The timeline of your destiny hasn't been delayed. It's being designed in divine order. In your hidden season, God strips away the need for approval. He teaches you to walk by faith and not by applause. You learn to perform for an audience of one. You stop measuring your worth by recognition and start measuring it by revelation. The hidden place becomes a holy place where God deals with your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and your pride. He burns away everything that could destroy you later. He doesn't want to just elevate you. He wants to equip you for elevation, because promotion without preparation is dangerous. It's like giving a sword to a child. God hides you to mature the warrior inside you before the battle begins. When you feel overlooked, remember that even Jesus lived a hidden life before his public ministry. For 30 years, he was silent, unseen, unknown, preparing in the carpenter shop for 3 years of world-changing purpose. He wasn't forgotten, he was being formed. The same God who prepared him is preparing you. Hiddenness isn't God's denial, it's his design. You're not in the background, you're in the workshop of destiny. While others are rushing ahead, you're being refined. While others are seeking attention, you're gaining anointing. The very fact that you feel hidden means there's something inside you that cannot be wasted on shallow places. God only hides things of value. No one hides garbage, but they lock away gold, they protect treasures, they cover what's precious. So if it feels like God tucked you away, it's because heaven knows what you carry is worth protecting. You're not forgotten, you're being preserved for divine purpose, and when the time is right, what God has been developing in secret will speak louder than any stage ever could. Every delay in your life carries a divine assignment. It may look like nothing is moving, but God is working behind the scenes, building strength that can only be developed in the quiet, hidden seasons. The hidden season isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the place where the weight of your calling begins to form under pressure, while others may be running ahead, posting progress and celebrating visible success. You are being forged in the secret place, where real power is born. The hidden season is heaven's training ground. It's where faith muscles grow strong, where endurance is built, and where trust is no longer a word you say, but a reality you live. When God slows you down, it's never to hold you back. It's to build you up. Every champion is shaped in silence before they step into the spotlight. Every soldier is trained in private before they march into the battlefield. You can't fight great battles if you haven't learned to endure great stillness. In that stillness, you learn how to rely on God, not results, how to stand when nothing seems to make sense, and how to believe even when you can't see the evidence yet. The hidden season is where your spiritual foundation is poured, strong enough to carry the weight of what's coming. This season might not feel exciting. It might be filled with long nights, unanswered prayers, and moments of doubt. You might look around and wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you remain in the same place. But the truth is, God is not delaying your destiny. He's deepening your development. He's strengthening you to hold the blessing without breaking under it. You can't rush divine preparation. If you want something to last, you let it mature. A seed doesn't bloom the moment it hits the soil. It goes through darkness first. It pushes through pressure, through soil, through struggle before it ever sees sunlight. That darkness is not a dead place. It's a developing place. So while you're waiting, don't waste your waiting. Learn everything you can in the unseen moments. Pray deeper. Worship harder. Let the hidden season shape your heart and your habits. It's in these quiet moments that you learn discipline, humility, and focus. God is teaching you how to handle responsibility before He hands it to you. He's showing you how to serve with excellence before you're seen by anyone. The small things you're faithful with now are building the character that will carry you later. Strength built in secret is the kind that doesn't crumble in public. When you've been trained by God's hand in the dark, you're unshaken by storms that knock others down. That's why He takes His time with you. He's building something unbreakable inside you. Faith that can withstand disappointment, courage that can stand against fear, and resilience that refuses to give up. Every test in this season is producing something powerful in your spirit. The tears, the waiting, the long nights, they're all ingredients for strength. Nothing is wasted. The hidden season also teaches you that success without surrender is dangerous. You learn to yield, to let God lead, to let go of control. You begin to see that it's not about your timing, but His. You realize that what God is building in you is greater than what you're asking Him for. So instead of trying to escape the process, you begin to embrace it. You start to see that this season isn't blocking your destiny. It's building your capacity. The hidden season is forming the kind of strength that platforms can give, applause can't maintain, and opportunities can't replace. It's in the unseen moments that you are becoming exactly who you need to be for the place. God is preparing to send you. The fire that God places inside you is not an ordinary flame. It is holy, powerful, and meant to transform everything it touches. But before that fire can shine before the world, it must be protected. There is a reason God doesn't expose you too soon. He knows that if your anointing is revealed before your character is ready, the very thing meant to bless you could destroy you. The holy fire within you must be refined, purified, and guarded until you can carry it with wisdom, humility, and discernment. Not everyone around you is meant to handle your flame. Some people would try to dim it, others would try to use it, and a few might even try to extinguish it. So God hides you to protect what He placed inside you. When God gives you a holy fire, it attracts both light and darkness. The same fire that brings warmth to those in need can also draw the attention of those who wish to steal it. That's why God shields your purpose until you're ready to stand in the heat without losing yourself. It's not that He's holding you back. It's that He's building you to last. Your fire is not for entertainment. It's for impact. And impact requires preparation. Before a soldier carries a weapon, they must be trained to use it responsibly. Before a pilot takes off, they must learn how to navigate storms. Likewise, before God releases your fire into the world, He ensures that you know how to keep it burning under pressure. The season of protection may feel like isolation, but it's really insulation. God covers you in a cocoon of growth so that the world cannot contaminate your flame. In that hidden space, He teaches you how to tend to your fire, how to feed it with prayer, how to guard it with obedience, and how to sustain it with purity. The holy fire is fragile in its early stages. If exposed too early to pride, distraction, or compromise, it can burn out quickly. So God, in His mercy, doesn't allow your gift to be displayed until your spirit is disciplined enough to manage it. He refines you in private so that when you stand in public, your flame burns steady and true. Every true servant of God must go through a refining process. That process can be painful. It strips away comfort, pride, and self-dependence. It teaches you to lean on God completely. The fire you carry isn't just meant to shine, it's meant to purify. But first, It must purify you. You can't carry holy fire with unholy hands. You can't walk in divine purpose with a divided heart. So God will allow tests and trials to come, not to break you, but to burn away the impurities that could keep your flame from burning bright. Every tear, every delay, every disappointment is part of that refining. He's removing everything that could weaken your fire later. When God protects your fire, he also changes your circle. He separates you from people who drain your spirit. He removes voices that discourage your calling. He silences noise that distracts you from his whisper. It's not rejection, it's divine redirection. God surrounds your fire with boundaries because he knows how valuable it is. You can't let just anyone speak into your purpose. You can't share your vision with everyone. There are seasons where silence is your shield and solitude is your sanctuary. God is not hiding your fire to limit you. He's doing it to preserve you. Because when your time comes, that fire will not flicker. It will blaze with holy authority. And by then, you'll know how to carry it without letting the weight of the world extinguish it, because you'll have learned in the hidden place how to keep your flame alive, pure, and unshakable. Every great purpose requires preparation. Before God promotes you, he always prepares you. The process may not look glorious, but it is sacred. Preparation is the furnace where destiny is forged, where character is built, and where humility takes root. It's the place where you learn to serve before you lead, to follow before you command, and to listen before you speak. Many want the promise without the process, but the truth is that without preparation, promotion becomes poison. The strength that sustains you in your next season is the strength you gain in this one. God won't take you higher until your foundation is strong enough to carry the weight of where he's taking you. There's a reason diamonds spend years under pressure before they shine. There's a reason gold is refined in fire before it's worn as a crown. God's process may be hidden, but it's holy. He uses waiting, struggle, and silence to build resilience in you. Every disappointment, every delay, every closed door is shaping you for something greater. It's not wasted time. It's divine timing. While you think nothing is happening, heaven is aligning every piece of your story with purpose. God doesn't promote unprepared vessels. He shapes them until they can handle the assignment without breaking. Preparation also reveals who you are when no one's watching. It tests your integrity, your patience, and your faithfulness in small things. If you can serve with excellence when no one sees, you'll serve with humility when everyone does. If you can stay faithful in obscurity, you can be trusted in opportunity. God uses the quiet moments to test your motives. Are you chasing purpose or applause? Are you serving for recognition or for obedience? These questions are answered in the unseen seasons where your heart is trained more than your hands. God develops the inner man before he displays the outer gift. It's easy to want the platform, but platforms without preparation collapse. God is too wise to let that happen to you. So he takes you through the long road, the refining road, the road where you learn how to handle rejection, betrayal, and waiting without losing your worship. He teaches you how to stay anchored when storms come, how to forgive when you're wronged, and how to trust him when nothing makes sense. Those lessons become the armor that protects your purpose. Without that armor, promotion would destroy you. With it, promotion becomes a testimony of his faithfulness. In the process of preparation, God also strips away everything that's not necessary for your next level. He removes people who can't go where you're headed. He closes doors that lead to distraction. He shifts your desires so that your heart aligns with his plan. You may not understand it while it's happening, but the pruning is necessary for growth. He's cutting away what could choke your fruit later. You can't carry excess baggage into destiny. The lighter you travel, the farther you'll go. God's preparation process often feels like pressure because he's stretching you beyond your comfort zone. He's teaching you discipline, perseverance, and faith under fire. When you're tested and trained by God, nothing the enemy throws can shake you. Every battle you face now is training for the victory ahead. Every delay is sharpening your focus. Every hardship is developing spiritual maturity. God is not just preparing a place for you, he's preparing you for that place. He wants your character to match your calling. Because when the moment of promotion arrives, you won't just walk into it. You'll be ready to stand firm, lead well, and carry the weight of glory that comes with being chosen. There are seasons in life when God begins to pull you away from everything familiar. People drift, doors close, conversations grow silent, and suddenly what once felt comfortable starts to feel empty. It's not abandonment, it's alignment. When God isolates you, he's not punishing you, he's drawing you closer to himself. He removes the noise so you can finally hear his voice clearly. In a world full of constant distractions, he must separate you to develop intimacy with him. Isolation is often the tool God uses to deepen your relationship, refine your focus, and remind you that your strength does not come from people, but from his presence. It is in the quiet moments that revelation is born. When there are no crowds to impress, no opinions to consider, and no pressure to perform, that's when you begin to discover who you are in God. He strips away the layers you've built to fit in and reveals the person he always intended you to be. You start to realize that your worth isn't found in validation or visibility. It's found in your connection to the one who created you. The hidden place becomes a sacred sanctuary where your faith matures and your identity strengthens. You begin to know God not as a distant figure, but as a close companion who speaks in whispers that only a quieted soul can hear. The beauty of isolation is that it forces dependency. When there's no one else to lean on, you learn to lean on God completely. When doors you relied on close, you discover the door that never shuts, his presence. You begin to find peace in solitude, realizing that it's better to be alone with God than surrounded by people who pull you away from him. The silence that once scared you becomes the atmosphere where you find strength. In those moments, your prayers become more personal, your worship more powerful, and your hunger for God deeper than it's ever been. You stop chasing people and start pursuing his presence. That's where transformation truly happens. God uses isolation to teach you discernment. He reveals the difference between connection and distraction, between divine alignment and emotional attachment. You start to see that not every relationship is meant to go where you're going. Some people were seasonal, meant to teach you something, not to travel with you. The closer you move to purpose, the smaller your circle becomes, because intimacy with God requires focus. He can't reveal his deepest plans for your life while you're surrounded by voices that don't speak faith. So he clears the room of noise so you can finally hear the instruction that changes everything. The hidden place also becomes a refining fire. It's where your motives are purified and your heart is checked. You learn patience, humility, and trust. You learn to pray without results, to believe without evidence, and to worship without witnesses. These lessons build a foundation that no spotlight could ever give you. The intimacy developed in isolation becomes your greatest strength when you face public battles later. Because once you've met God in the secret place, you know that no storm can shake what was built there. Sometimes God will even use loneliness to awaken your longing for him. When the comfort of people fades, you discover the comfort of his spirit. You start to crave his presence more than approval, his voice more than noise, his purpose more than pleasure. It's in this divine solitude that you stop striving and start surrendering. You begin to understand that intimacy with God is not just about proximity, it's about priority. It's choosing him even when it costs you company, choosing his whisper over the world's applause, and realizing that the hidden season isn't isolation, it's invitation. God isn't taking people away to leave you empty. He's clearing space so he can fill you with himself when the time finally comes for God to reveal what he's been building in you. It won't be subtle or uncertain. It will be undeniable. The same God who hid you in the shadows will be the one who brings you into the light. Every hidden season, every silent prayer, every moment of waiting will suddenly make sense. You won't have to force your moment or fight for attention. When God reveals you, he becomes your announcement. What he's prepared in private will manifest in public, and no one will be able to take credit for it. The doors that refused to open before will swing wide without struggle, because the same hand that once held you back will now push you forward. When God says it's time, no person, no opposition, and no delay can stop what he's ordained. The unveiling of God's chosen ones is always preceded by a period of refinement. When you've endured the process, when you've stayed faithful through obscurity, and when you have trusted God even when you didn't understand him, that's when he knows you're ready. He doesn't just want to bless you. He wants you to be strong enough to handle the blessing. He doesn't want the platform to define you. He wants your character to sustain you once you're standing on it. That's why the waiting was necessary. The promotion that comes from God is permanent because it's built on purpose, not pressure. When God reveals you, it's not to make you famous, it's to make him known through your life. Every hidden season ends with a divine unveiling. It's the moment when what was prepared in secret becomes visible to the world. But this isn't just about recognition, it's about release. God releases you into places that once seemed unreachable because you've been transformed in the secret place. You've learned to rely on his voice more than opinions, to trust his timing more than your own, and to walk with peace even when paths seemed uncertain. Now, when he lifts you up, you'll know that it was his hand that carried you. You'll walk differently, speak differently, and lead differently because you'll understand the cost of the calling you carry. When God reveals you, he often does it in a way that silences doubt. People who questioned your worth will have to watch what God does through you. Those who left you in the waiting season will see why you had to be hidden. Every trial that tried to break you will now testify that it built you. You won't need to explain yourself. Your growth will speak for you. The transformation will be so evident that even those who once overlooked you will recognize the power of God on your life. That's how God moves. He doesn't just elevate, he vindicates. He restores every lost moment with divine acceleration. The unveiling is not about competition. It's about completion. It's the moment when all the lessons, the tears, the prayers, and the pain begin to align into a beautiful picture of purpose. You realize that every disappointment was direction, every detour was divine, and every delay was preparation. You'll begin to walk with quiet confidence because you'll know that your identity doesn't depend on visibility. It's anchored in God's faithfulness. You'll carry peace instead of pressure, gratitude instead of pride, and humility instead of haste. And when that moment comes, the world won't just see what you do, they'll feel what you carry. The holy fire that God has been cultivating in you will begin to burn with intensity and purpose. It won't be about proving anyone wrong. It'll be about showing the world what's right with God. The same fire that once kept you hidden will now be the light that draws others to hope, healing, and truth. You'll move with authority, not because you chased opportunity, but because opportunity found you faithful. Every silent season, every hidden place, and every unseen sacrifice will finally reveal its purpose as you step into the fullness of what God has been preparing you for all along.